Shalom, warrior.
Hey, shalom, sir.
Lord of Christ, what's going on with you?
Right. Just grab my headpiece.
All right, no sweat. All right, Israel, we'll get started in a little bit. Y'all come on in. We'll get started as soon as brothers and sisters start to join the live. All right. If you're new in the school and you're looking to join or get a Hebrew name, make sure you click on the link on the YouTube chat. On the top of the chat is the sign-in sheet. So that way you can be counted for attendance. If you're looking to get a Hebrew name, make sure you click on the link, all right? And we'll get started in a little bit, y'all. Y'all just bear with me in a little bit. We'll get it rocking and rolling. All right. Might as well get it going. Yes, sir. One second. All right, you might as well get it going. What you think, Nashad? Ready to rock and roll? You got me on mute if you're speaking. All right, Shalom Israel, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. Yahweh Shemal Adon by Shem Yahushua's priest and also Shah by the Isupk. Started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching the truth according to the Bible. And the truth of the Bible is that this book has nothing to do with any religion that's existing on this earth today, whether it be Christianity, Islam, Judaism, whatever religion that's existing today, the Bible has nothing to do with it, right? This book is actually the history of so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians prior to slavery, right? When I say prior to slavery, right, before we became slaves in America, we had our own land, had our own language, had our own identity, nationality, and culture, right? It wasn't until we went into slavery where all these things got stripped from us, our heritage and who we were as a people, right? But once you read the Bible, you'll find out that the people that have been put in captivity, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, make up the 12 tribes of Israel, right? We are the blood descendants of the Israelites. This is our identity prior to slavery, before we became slaves in America, right? We spoke Hebrew, right? God commanded us to keep these commandments and the laws as written of in this Bible. Israel was our land, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't until we went into captivity is when we lost our identity, right? So this is the truth that we've been bringing out, and we're going to break it down. Come on, warrior. Christ. What's going on? You all right? All right. Yeah, we in a different spot today.
Yeah, I just came up here.
God.
I looked around the corner, I was like, that's some keys. I ain't even look at the top of the thing.
Oh, you just walked in random?
Yeah.
Most I came to the right spot. Yeah, right. All right. So yeah, we're gonna get it going. Every Tuesday is the Brotherhood class from 6:30 to 8:30. We are here in the Hart Memorial Library in Orlando, Florida. All right. So if you're out here in the Central Florida area, we got class going on every Tuesday. Hart Memorial Library in downtown Kissimmee. And that's every Tuesday, man. We're gonna rock it out with the Brotherhood. I got my main man with me, Austin the Shock, out in West Palm Beach. You know what I'm saying? Y'all give it up. Austin the Shock, the mighty soldier of the Isupk. You know what I'm saying? Also got Trooper Canuck in the building with me as well. Give it up, give it up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be rocking it out. Of course, if you got any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. Other than that, I'll dive right into the topic. All right. So what we're gonna speak on is what they call black on black crime. All right, we familiar. Everybody done heard that before, right? Familiar with that term, that word, black on black crime. Right. What we gonna dig into is the root of this so-called phenomenon that's occurring within our communities. Right? We're gonna get to the root of the crime that happens amongst us. Right? Now, with black on black crime, right? What they'll make you believe is that it's something that is just inherently black or that's exclusive to the black community. Right? Well, what you have to understand that every nation or every set of people commit crimes amongst their own or people that's within their proximity. Right? If you in close distance of somebody, right, you will not travel all the way to China to commit crime, right? You commit crime with the people that's within your area, right? People in China commit crimes within China. People in Germany, France, whatever country they at, they commit their crime amongst their own or within their proximity. You know what I'm saying? It is something that is not inherently black or exclusively to black people, as if we're savages and can't get it right. You know what I'm saying? Even Hispanic on Hispanic crime, Hispanics hating Hispanics. You know what I'm saying? You got Hispanics that's Trump supporters, that's hating on the illegals that's coming here and crossing the border. You know what I'm saying? You got natives that hate on natives and sell each other out, you know, to get a buck from the white man. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, warrior. Let me know if you can hear me. All right. You know what I'm saying? We got crime amongst each other that occurs, but the difference between the crime that we do within our own communities and the crimes that other nations commit against themselves is that we have a law that prohibits us to hate each other, to rob each other, to shoot each other down in the streets, to sell drugs to one another. You know what I'm saying? The laws that's written of in the Bible is what can fix so-called quote unquote black on black crime. You know what I'm saying? Because our people have been conditioned to live like this. We have been pushed through slavery and the mentality of our oppressor to hate each other. All right, no sweat, Officer Isupk. You know what I'm saying? I do see you on the video, but until you get it together, just let me know. All right. So we're going to jump into the first verse. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 46, if I'm not mistaken. 28. Yeah, 46. 28 and 46. We'll start with that one first, right? You got it? All right, you get down with it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 46.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall be upon thee.
Now, the day that is talking about is the curses that's written of in Deuteronomy 28. From 28 and 1 to 15, it talks about the blessings that the Lord would give us if we kept his law, statute, commandments. Right? From 15 on down, all the way to 68, it talks about the punishments or the curses that the Lord will bring onto the children of Israel if we did not keep his commandments. right? And one of the punishments that's written of, well, there's many punishments that's written of in the Bible, and the most significant one is talks about the transatlantic slave trade, right? Most people don't even know that the transatlantic slave trade is recorded in the Bible. Most people go to church all their life, every Sunday go to church, and never read about the slavery that happened here in America. You know what I'm saying? Never read about the slavery where our people was forced to become slaves here in America, man. You know what I'm saying? Because our people is not really taught the truth of this Bible. So what we reading right now, we're going to read these punishments was only given unto us. You know what I'm saying? The punishments that's written of in Deuteronomy 28 is the day that it's talking about, right? Read on.
Okay. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
For a what?
For a sign.
For a sign. Now, what does that mean when it says for a sign? What does that mean? Go ahead.
So like, it's for so you can identify, or you can recognize, or you know what I'm saying, you can select. I mean, you can like I said, identify, and you can see
Who fits it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Who it pertains to.
God,
who fits it.
Right. You exactly right, Warrior. Exactly right. You know what I'm saying? It's these punishments that's written of in Deuteronomy 28 is to give us the identification of who the children of Israel are today. Right? Think about it. If you get hungry and you're riding down the street, most of us got GPS. Let's say your phone died while you're riding down the street and you want to get some McDonald's. What are you going to look for to know where McDonald's is at while you're riding down the street? Go ahead.
Yeah, a McDonald's.
A McDonald's. So you're going to see that M, right? Because that symbolizes what? This is where the McDonald's is at. You get what I'm saying? Well, it's no different when it comes to these punishments, right? In order to know who the children of Israel are, they have to fit these punishments that's written of in this Bible, right? And these punishments that we read, and if you read it in Deuteronomy 28, it don't fit nobody else but so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there's many, many wars that's going on in this earth, and many people been in captivity, and conflicts happen against another nations that's not of the 12 tribes of Israel. But nobody has been in judgment or punishment or in slavery the way so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have. Right? The things that we go through is special unto us. Right? It's like experience no other on this earth because nobody else has experienced it. You know what I'm saying? They call it the Black experience here in America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hispanics and Native Indians, what they've been through, nobody else can fit these curses. You know what I'm saying? So these are written as a sign to let you know who they are today. Right? Read on.
And for a wonder. And upon thy seed forever.
Right, for your generations, for your children. You know what I'm saying? We are the offspring of the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And this was the time of Moses in the wilderness who was letting us know. And you fast forward today, we're still going through these punishments. Okay. Right? Let's get 54. Let's read one of these punishments.
Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
Right, what is that talking about?
Like being soft.
Go ahead.
Like being soft. Like when you say tender and the tender among you and very delicate, like he has no manhood, no manpower, like he's feminine. Or like how you would say, like he don't have a what's that word? Like a character toward like a character of manhood, like a character of
no sweat. Boy. But I'll let you know right now, not quite on it. You know what I'm saying? You can, kind of, yeah, but yeah, it's right. Nah, no sweat. But that is a good example. You know what I'm saying? That's a good guess, right? Anybody else want to give it a shot? What is that talking about?
Slovakia.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that the tender was like, you know what I'm saying, somebody that's soft, somebody that ain't, you know what I'm saying, like built like, when people say you ain't built like that, somebody that don't really stand on what they say.
Okay, I mean that's the same thing with Triple Canuck said. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's a good example. You know what I'm saying? But that's not quite what it's talking about, right? It's talking about the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? The Lord bred us up to be soldiers. You know what I'm saying? Men of war, just like the Most High is, right? So what does that talk about when it says tender and delicate?
So like,
Go
is
ahead.
it talking about being young?
Get a brother a hand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right. When you're young, right? When you're young, you're tender and delicate.
Right.
You know, or like they say, innocent. You know what I'm saying? You know, young age. You know, you're not fully experienced in life. You just do things innocently and,
Right.
you know, seeking fun and, you know, just being a kid, right?
Right.
Right? The people that's young, even the young amongst us, right? They are not going to be able to live out their childhood. You know what I'm saying? Because of the conditions that we in, right? Even the young among us are the ones that's packing the guns and shooting each other down in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to read about it right now in Deuteronomy, right? Read on.
Come. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
It shall be what?
Evil towards his brother.
Right. Now, this is a sign to let you know that who is talking about. Right? It says his eyes shall be evil towards his brother. This is talking about what goes on within blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. You know what I'm saying? We got problems amongst each other that we don't know how to solve. You know what I'm saying? Or we got, you know, stuff that we refuse to mend or to make right with each other. And we just always resort to violence. But that's what the case, you know, most of the time will be. You know what I'm saying? Because we have been put in a position to react this way. Right? If you study the history within black people in America, the numbers for black on black violence, right, did not exist prior to the civil rights movement. You know how they got this the chart and the statistics of, you know, black on black crime and who's killing who and all of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they say it's, you know, it's a great number today, but if you try to find that same exact number or that same exact chart prior to integration, you know what I'm saying, it will be very low or you won't even find it at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That should tell you something. That should tell you that the reason why we're behaving in this manner is because of what? Go ahead.
Because of these curses.
Which is true.
And because for one, it's like, so I don't know
Mhm.
if this on point, if I may, it's like, for one, we don't follow the laws, and for two, like we don't have no love for each other, which is in the law.
Right. And right, which is true, right? And one of the laws was what? Concerning the children of Israel.
Love thy brother as thyself.
That's one of them, right? But within the context of what we talk about, right? Prior to integration, the numbers of black on black violence was not this high, right? Before we even integrated, the numbers was real low, or it probably didn't even exist. Go ahead.
It's like I don't think that's.
Give it a shot. Yeah.
I often say like we should like separate ourselves.
Get a brother in. You know what I'm saying? That's a law. You know what I'm saying? We ain't supposed to join them and marry unto them and believe in their philosophies and worship their gods. You know what I'm saying? This is the result of us integrating with them, you know, joining with them. You know what I'm saying? The effects that it have on us, not only through physically, but mentally. You know what I'm saying? The effects of slavery and integration has destroyed us as a people. You know what I'm saying? We walk around with the mentality of our oppressors now. You know what I'm saying? And that's so easy for a black man to fall into because you don't have a culture. You don't have a heritage. You don't have an identity. You know what I'm saying? So you do whatever your oppressor feeds you.
Right.
And he been feeding us to be violent towards each other since day one, to hate each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To abuse one another. Right? They got I don't know, they say it's not really true, but the Winnie Lynch letters.
That's true.
Right. It's true based on you know, the courses that you read about that occurs. But supposedly they say that nobody actually wrote those letters and handed it out to whites. That's what they say. You know what I'm saying? God.
You gotta know who is the they.
Right,
You know
God.
what I'm saying?
God.
Because they're trying to say a lot of things that's horrific and terrible. You know, once people start
Catching up to it, that's when it was discredited. You know what I'm saying?
Like, no, that's a historical thing that happened.
Right.
Like, it was printed out.
Mm-hmm.
They made it out of a book.
God.
Where did these people get this book from?
God.
If it ain't true.
That you know how it is. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to throw that disclaimer out there, you know what I'm saying, for the non-believers out there. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if you just examine black people and how your oppressor dealt with us, it matches up perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Like they did actually do that in slavery, where they'll pen, dark skin versus light skin, house Negro versus field Negro. You know what I'm saying? They used to force them to mate and breed. You know what I'm saying? And they used to emasculate the men, buck breaking, or chain them up and whip their back, change their name, rape the woman, did all these things so we can't find love within ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So we can grow a hatred towards ourselves. Go ahead.
Just on that note, disclaimer too, but I heard this too, that they would put like how they treated us like cattle ants, which is so inhumane to the point to where they would have a son lay with his mother, but he wouldn't know at the time. They would put a bag over both of their heads and have a mate. And I heard like that's where the term mother comes from. That's what they would call him because
they'll make him sleep with his mother.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of the stock, how he was a big stocky dude, and he came up, and the father was either dead or whatever. Like cattle, they treated us like cattle,
right?
And that's like very humane. I don't even want to fathom the type of thought process of one of our brothers back in that day to realize he just laid with his mother.
God, it was horrific what we went through, man. You know what I'm saying? It was like it's like straight out of a horror movie, what we went through. You know what I'm saying? And you think something like that still does not resonate in our minds or don't resonate in our spirit? Like this was going on for years, centuries. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, though, your oppressor decided because he had a change of heart to free you from slavery. Now you're supposed to just continue on in your normal life, in your everyday living. You know what I'm saying? Those things can affect you, right? Even in our small time of living, of some odd years, 30 years, 20 years. The things that you go through in your lifetime affects you as a man or a woman or as a person. Imagine a generation of slavery. You know what I'm saying? That's going to resonate with you for a long time, man. You know what I'm saying? Until you come into the truth, until you learn who you are. Go ahead.
Like I was saying, that's why they're trying to get rid of that. Because like the scriptures say, oppression maketh the wise man mad. Now, like how you said, Sir Salaki, what you said is so heavy. Even in our little time, man, we just sit here and we think about what they went through and we get angry. We feel some type of way. We ain't lived through it. We got a different kind of oppression going on. Similar, we still getting killed. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like how what they went through where you could be working in the field and the master just come and pick your wife out and go take you in the barn or rape her, or you just feel like making some money today, he go get one of your kids and go sell them. That was hard.
Yeah,
we didn't even do that, but just us thinking about that, it gets us upset.
Right.
So in order to keep the niggas and slaves in a captive state of mind, let's take that away from them. Let us not teach that what we did. Don't let them find out what we were doing. Because if they keep thinking about it, keep teaching it, they're gonna get upset. They're gonna revolt.
Exactly. Exactly. You exactly right, Warrior. Now damn man. You know, it's crazy what we've been through. You know what I'm saying? The trauma that we had to endure in this captivity, man. You know what I'm saying? And we love to mention as a people, breaking generational curses. You know what I'm saying? And we always equate that with being wealthy within our families. You know what I'm saying? But nobody considers, well, let's break generational curses by loving another black man. You know what I'm saying? By loving another Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? By not committing crimes or selling drugs to each other. You know what I'm saying? By not walking inside of that Christian church, because that is one of those curses too, your generational curses. That's one of the things that your oppressor used to make himself a god unto you. You know what I'm saying? So that way you can have the utmost respect to your oppressor, But another black man, you can disregard him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You look at him like he's dirt or garbage on this earth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you've been conditioned and forced under oppression through the white man, you know what I'm saying, to think like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason why black on black crime exists today is because of the mentality that we walk with. You know what I'm saying? For not keeping the law, statute, commandments of the Most High and thinking that you gonna be like your oppressor. Right. You know what I'm saying? Anything y'all brothers want to add, man, feel free to add. You know what I'm saying?
Slacky, sir.
Kind of get that word.
Nah, so what you were saying, you know what I mean? Like, you hitting it, the nail on the head. Like, when Esau, like Christianity, okay, we didn't just wake up one day and became Christians or wanted to be Christians. They burnt crosses on our lawn, okay? They hung us. You know, they raped us, they murdered us, they made us worship the white Jesus through terrorism. Okay, we didn't just want to be, you know, worship a white God. Okay, they made us do that, and after so long, you know, you know, your mama and your son watch you die and hang and burn. You know what I mean? You'll say, okay, master, I'll take on the white Jesus. And then after, you know, so many generations, you forgot how you got to the worshiping white Jesus.
Right.
Because of the terrorism, you know, the killings, the murders, the lynching. That's how we became Christians in America, sir.
God, damn right, man. Damn right, God. They forced you to be like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Lynched you and hung you in order to worship and bow down to that image. You know what I'm saying? That is very, very true, man. You know what I'm saying? And we are still carrying out those traditions today. Your mama taught, you know, their kids, your kids, you know, they're gonna teach their kids, they're gonna teach their kids, and it's gonna continue on generationally. You know what I'm saying? Until we break the cycle by coming into the truth and understanding who you really are, man. Right? Let's drop that. Let's get Leviticus 20 and 23.
Also, if I could, sir.
Get down, boy.
Like what you brought out with the tender man, you know what I mean? Like that's, you know, like that's the whole, that's the spirit and the vibe of most people that don't want to come into the truth. They don't, they're afraid, sir. They're scared. You know, they don't want to call the white man the devil to his face. They don't want to, you know, put in the work that needs to be put in. They rather, you know what I mean? Like they're still under that generational curse you're talking about of having that fear on them. But the Lord say, you know, he didn't give us the spirit of fear.
Damn right. Damn right, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like we afraid, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to when it comes to joining your oppressor, right? Like we have no problem joining our oppressor. You know what I'm saying? And we give him all our respect. When we call him sir and say, yes, boss, and say how you doing and smile in his face. But as soon as a black person comes around, you know what I'm saying, that's when all, you know, discipline and your love wipes away for another black person. You know what I'm saying? You're quick to harm and hate another black person, man. You know what I'm saying? And we don't never ask why.
Right.
We don't never ever ask why, man. You know what I'm saying? And so that's heavy what you know what I'm saying, you brought that out, how our people is afraid to even want to know who they are. Don't even want to know the root of the problem. We don't even know, like, what's the reason why. We don't even want to know that, at least. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said Salakia?
I was just going to say, like, the same way you saying that, you know what I'm saying, when it's them, they say yes, sir, no, sir, things like that. Like Stockholm Syndrome is proven to be passed down through DNA. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure everybody in here done had the police talk where, oh, just give them your license, just comply, just say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just shows, like, through generations how we never let that go.
Dang. So you saying that trauma is genetic? Is that what you saying also, y'all? What's up?
Con.
Good night, man. You know what I'm saying? It's 2022. And these are the topics that's never discussed. Right? We quick to point the finger at black people. But nobody's going to the actual root of the problem. Right? Let's get to Leviticus 20 and 23. You got that for me, boy? All right, you go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 23. And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nation.
It says, and ye shall not walk in the manners of the nation. It's talking about the children of Israel, right? In the manner of the nations, right? The nation is talking about who? Mm-hmm.
So,
We got it.
it's talking about the everyone that's not here.
Exactly right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's outside of the children of Israel, right? These other nations, right? Like your so-called white man, African, Japanese, Chinese, East Indian, Arab. These people are not considered the children of Israel, or they don't make up the 12 tribes of Israel. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do, right? And when Moses was speaking unto them, he was telling them to not walk in the manners of other people, other nations, other races, right? We not supposed to be following and praying to no white Jesus. Like, what sense does that make? A black man worshiping a white man as a god? That don't seem suspicious, right? Like Dr. Umar means that don't seem suspicious.
Right.
Like, come on now. The same people that put you as a slave is the same one that you're praying to at night.
Right.
What nation you know that worships a god that don't look like them? Nobody on this earth does that, man. Every nation worships a god that resembles a nationality, right? East Indians got an East Indian god, right? Chinese got a Chinese god. Arabs got an Arab god. Black people is the only people that worship a god that looks nothing like them, right? And the importance of having a god that looks like your nationality is to do what as a people, right? Why do East Indians have Shiva look like an East Indian? Or why do Chinese people have Buddha look like a Chinese man? Why do the Arabs have Muhammad or Allah as an Arab man? What is the purpose of making your God resemble you? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, it give you a certain type of, you know what I'm saying, a certain type of pride, like a certain type of way of looking at yourself. Whereas if you
Exactly.
worshiping something that don't look like you, you're gonna hate you and love everything else.
Exactly right, warrior. It empowers you as a nation. You get what I'm saying? As a race, it empowers you, right? You make this figure as a deity, and it does everything great. And if you look at that deity and it looks just like you, it makes you feel great. It makes you feel strong. So you become more empowered to be a better person or be a better within your nation. You know what I'm saying? Be a better citizen or somebody that's loyal to that nation, right? Black people are the only people that worship a God that looks nothing like them.
Right.
This is why we're not empowered to do nothing for ourselves. You get what I'm saying? This is why we look at white people with the utmost respect, or look at our oppressors the way we look at them. You know what I'm saying? Because we look at them like a God.
Right.
So everything we do to please them, to be better for them. You know what I'm saying? Well, the Bible is going to let you know that we wasn't supposed to be following our oppressors like their gods. We're not supposed to be following Islam and none of that, because that's the manner of these other nations.
Right.
That's their philosophy. You know what I'm saying? And including crime. All right? Crime is major amongst Europeans. Now, am I lying? Look at their history. How did they find America? How did they get America? Hey, help me out. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Can somebody tell me how the Europeans got America? Go ahead.
It's like through crime, rape, rob, pillaging.
They stole this mother.
Stealing.
God, through crime. You know what I'm saying? This is how they founded what they call the greatest country on earth. They founded it through crime. They got success through crime. Right? Not only did they steal this land, but they also slaughtered the Native Indians, murdered them, and enslaved so-called blacks, and forced them to build this country up. Everything they got was through crime. Now, us as a people who's lost their identity and lost their culture, following the manners of the nation, if they're committing crime and living a lifestyle of crime or finding success in crime, guess what we're gonna do by default? Think about it, right? A child only does what it sees, right? What we gonna do by default? We're gonna commit crime. You get what I'm saying? We're gonna commit crime. This is what we're gonna do. Because we seen our oppressors find success in this. You know what I'm saying? The people that enslaved us, that forced us to worship them, we gonna do exactly what they do. You know what I'm saying? To committing crime. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we have quote unquote black on black crime in our communities. This is why we have drugs in our communities. You know what I'm saying? It's because it's a spiritual thing. It's a mental thing. And it's all being promoted and being uplifted by the Christian church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The house of white supremacy, right?
Right.
Let's continue on.
And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nation, which I cast out before you. For they committed all these things.
They do what?
Committed all these things.
All these things that the Lord told us not to do in Leviticus. Right? Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as you do with womankind. All these things is what these other nations is doing. They even got a month dedicated to it called Pride Month. You get what I'm saying? And they love to equate the black experience to what a homosexual experience in America. You know what I'm saying? When they're nowhere similar. Ain't no homosexual being lynched on a tree or being whooped and forced to be a slave to pick cotton. Your ancestors wasn't brought here to the shores of America because they were being gay. You know what I'm saying? It's because what flows through your veins, your bloodline. You are the chosen people of the Most High, and he told you not to be like these other nations, not to follow them. All right, go ahead.
So like it says. Oh, and like, this is the thing. In Russia, Putin ain't playing that homosexual stuff. If you're a homosexual in Russia, you stand in the house. They beat homosexuals up in the streets. Like, literally, like, they catch you walking down the street holding hands, they will beat your butt. You know what I'm saying?
That's probably why that one sister is still locked up.
That's
probably why.
Yeah, they don't play that homosexual. And that's the thing, like, okay, and this is why, like you said, I see why the scriptures call America Babylon. Because everything that the Most High hates is done over here. In some countries, it ain't done like that. Even though they are heathens too. Like, okay, the homosexuality, they ain't got that in Russia. Where they walking around prideful. But then they want to call Putin a murderer and all this and that. But y'all homosexuals and sodomites over here.
Yeah. It's all hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying? It's all one and the same, man. You know what I'm saying? They all just trying to, you know, act like they are God. Or act like they can make decisions for the Most High. You know what I'm saying? They portray themselves like they God. And our people fall for it every single time, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord told us not to be like them. Not to do what they do, including committing crime, man, including hating each other, including selling drugs. Ronald Reagan is the biggest drug dealer known in American history. You know what I'm saying? It was just recorded where not too long ago, I think probably last year, son, or probably a couple years back, where a cargo ship that belonged to J.P. Morgan, they found tons of cocaine on that cargo ship.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can find the article. Somebody could probably pull up the article. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, so.
Wells Fargo had one of those cargo ships too, where every container, you know, the 40 and 53-foot trailers was filled with nothing but cocaine.
Good night. And you think that's by an accident? You think J.P. Morgan and Wells Fargo didn't know that they had cocaine on their ship? You get up? You think they don't know that? I'm talking about tons of cocaine. It's not just one little bag that they found on the ship. This is tons that they bringing in. You know what I'm saying? They are the drug dealers, man. You know what I'm saying? They are the original gangsters. Black man, you ain't no gangster. The Lord did not call you to be a gangster. You know what I'm saying? The white man is a criminal by nature, a murderer by nature. He gets to shoot and people die. You know what I'm saying? When we could try to follow him, you get locked up in prison. You shoot the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? He was blessed with the sword, man. He was blessed with the sword. And once we start to follow him, we became a murderer, a drug dealer, you know what I'm saying, committing crime and shooting each other just like him. Con, you found the article? What did it say?
It said, like it's coming up right now. It says a cargo ship owned by J.P. Morgan Chase seized by U.S. with 20 tons of cocaine.
How many tons?
20 tons.
You know how much 1 ton weighs? It's pretty heavy now. Imagine times that by
2,000 pounds.
Listen, they supplying everybody with dope. You get what I'm saying? This is who's bringing in all these drugs, man. And they use black people in order to destroy ourselves, you know what I'm saying, and make us sell these drugs. When they the ones that's getting high, bringing in drugs, doing all type of wickedness. You know what I'm saying? This is their lifestyle. This is their culture. They don't have no laws. They're immoral by nature. You know what I'm saying? They're savage beasts. This is how they act. This is how they operate. But the Lord required us not to be that way, right? Go ahead, Drew.
It says 20 tons or 39,525 pounds.
Damn. That's heavy, man. You know what I'm saying? That can feed a whole coast. You know what I'm saying? The whole East Coast would have nothing but cocaine if that would have been brought through. You know what I'm saying? That can supply everybody, a whole nation, man. And this is not just one event or one occurrence. They've been doing this for years in America, bringing in drugs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, "Salaki, my bad."
Okay. I was just gonna say, and that's just the one that they found.
Right,
Never
guys,
mind
right.
the ones that they didn't.
That's just the one that they just found. It just so happened they found that one. You know what I'm saying? You better know where it's coming from, right? Anything your brothers also want to add? Feel free to add. You know what I'm saying?
Not lies, sir.
Con. Nah, you say it too well. You got it.
Oh no, I was going to say like they use for that's probably like to let whoever know on the back end, like, yeah, the shipment is on its way.
Right, yeah, guys.
Like showing them, like, yeah, we got it. Now it'll be to you in the next few days.
Right.
Because, like, from all the cocaine that they see, where the hell is it at? So, like, you know, from throughout the years of them seizing tons and tons of cocaine, there should be places that it done ran out of. Like, it definitely ain't in the police department.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Unless they have it a party.
Yeah, like, where's all that drugs at? It's on the streets.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They got you see it in movies that where the cops take the cocaine, chop it down, and then sell it back to the people that they done took it from. That ain't just no movie. They got that idea from real life. Yeah, real life.
Even that you know, I'm glad you mentioned that one movie, I think it's Godfather. You know what I'm saying? When they were sitting at the table and talking about how they gonna wipe out the black people that selling drugs or something like that. I was like, yeah, let's move into the black, you know what I'm saying? Because this is how they operate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your oppressor is not honorable in his dealings. Like, this is how he got success, through crime. Right. Being a criminal made him rich. What makes you think he will ever stop being a criminal when it always giving him success? You know what I'm saying? Well, our success is not us being a criminal like him. You know what I'm saying? Our success is serving the Most High and keeping the commandments, like he said. Don't join yourself unto them. You know what I'm saying? Don't join yourself and don't follow their manners. Don't worship their gods, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Just to add on, they said that their shipment was worth $1.3 billion.
You said million or
One of
billion?
the main billion, you know what I'm saying? And one of the main conspirators for $1.3 billion worth of coke was sentenced to 5 years and 10 months.
Good night. Good night, man. You said 1.3 billion. This is how much dope they moving in. You know what I'm saying? And JP Morgan is one of the top banks, Chase Banks, right? You know what I'm saying? JP Morgan, he wealthy.
Is he the one that got the weed looking like? Is that Morgan and Morgan? Is that the same people? Is JP Morgan the same as Morgan and Morgan?
Nah, I think Morgan & Morgan is somebody's dad. I think that's only for Florida attorney offices. But I think JP Morgan is the one that created the banks, just like Chase Bank and kind of. He's like up there. You know, he passed Morgan & Morgan. You know what I'm saying? Morgan & Morgan, he got bread, but he ain't JP Morgan breaded up. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second.
They got Chase Bank and they got JPay as well. The same system to send money to family that's locked up. They own that system.
You know what I'm saying? They making money. This is how they make money, man. You know what I'm saying? And they've been doing this. Right? Let's continue on.
For they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them.
He does what?
Abhorred them.
He abhors them. The Lord hates these other nations, not because of the color of their skin, not because of the fact that they're East Indian or Arab Chinese. You know what I'm saying? You can't help to be who you are. You are who you are. But it's because the acts that you do, the crimes that you commit, you know what I'm saying? The things that you're doing that the Lord do not like. And these people have been doing it for centuries, man. They got so good at it, it made them rich. You know what I'm saying? And our people mimic that behavior. We mimic their lifestyle, man. Let's drop that. Let's get Ecclesiasticus 13 and 15. God. 1 second, y'all.
Come.
All right, you got it, War.
Come, sir.
Oh, you was gonna read Con, you got it. Yeah, you got it.
Come. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Every beast loveth his own like.
Every beast does what?
Loveth his like.
What does that mean? What is that talking about? We're dealing with nature now. Go ahead. Now, you want to give it a shot? You got it. You got it.
Mm-hmm. Sir. That means like every beast like his own kind. Like lions like to deal with lions, hyenas with hyenas, hippos with hippos, elephant with elephants. Everybody stays to their own kind.
Exactly right. You know what I'm saying? If you go out in the wild, right, you have two types that's in the wild, that exist in the wild, right, or in the jungle. You have the predators and the prey, right? You have people that's, that eats the trees and the grass and is delicate, and you got the ones that hunt and eat meat. You get what I'm saying? You have two types that exist in the wild. Right. Not once would you ever find a prey around a predator unless they're being devoured. You know what I'm saying? You'll never see them drinking from the same pond. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. This ain't Lion King. They don't gather around just to see Simba. You know what I'm saying? Do nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? They understand me being a prey and the fact that I'm delicate. I have to get away from this predator, right, or else he's going to eat me. Right. You get what I'm saying? Well, guess what? Your oppressor, the so-called white man, has been a predator unto you, black man. You know what I'm saying? And he's been preying on your existence ever since he brought you here in America. He's been making sure that you commit crime against each other. He made sure that you shoot each other down and sell drugs to each other. He made sure that you hated yourself and hated each other. This is not by coincidence, man. You know what I'm saying? He made sure that you live a lifestyle of crime. He pushed this and promoted this amongst us to live this lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Until this day, we've been living with it generationally for years and years, living like our oppressor. And nobody wonders why. Nobody asks why black people shooting each other down. Why we selling drugs so much? They love to blame us like we invented it. Like we invented being gangsters. You know what I'm saying? The white man was a gangster since the 20s. You know what I'm saying? Since America has been started. During the Prohibition era. Who do you think was, the gangsters at that time? Who do you think was the original OGs? You know what I'm saying? The Italian mob, the Jewish mob, Russian mob. It was the white collar. This is what white collar crime comes from. The RICO law. This is where the RICO comes from.
Right.
They had to put a law in place because they couldn't stop them from committing crime. So they was like, all right, listen, we're going to start from the bottom on up. Whoever associate with you, we're going to make sure we get all of y'all together. You know what I'm saying? Because they couldn't even stop them. They call it what? Teflon Don. You know what I'm saying? Because he was always beating his cases. You know what I'm saying? Your oppressor is the original gangster. You know what I'm saying? He is the murderer and the drug dealer and the thief. Right. You know what I'm saying? And our people has integrated with them and joined them and started following their manners. When the Bible told us to be separate, love your own kind, love your own beast. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like the animal do, guess what? We got to do the same. If we want to preserve our life, if we want to save ourselves, if we want to stop being a prey, we have to separate. Right? Read on.
Carnival Khan, sir. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13 and verse 15. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor.
And every man loveth his neighbor. Your oppressor only loves himself. He only loves his kind, his own people. He loved his own people so much that they found the most racist white man that they can find and made him a president. They voted for him off of the fact that he was going to oppress or deport Mexican people. That's the whole stance of his presidency, was how much he had in hatred for the Mexican people. And you know what white America did? They rallied behind that and made him a president. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody loves their own kind and their own neighbor. Go ahead.
It's like I said, and if I may too, that's a valid point too, because like when America have an agenda, they find the most wicked, racist man to complete it. Just like with Bush. Bush had everybody hating Arabs, or them same people over there, just because he was promoting it.
Right.
And what they did, they went over there and killed and bombed them people for what, 10 years, 15 years?
God.
You know what I'm saying? And just like with Andrew Jackson, they hated the savage or the so-called Native American. So they promoted a man that promotes hatred to fit their agenda. Right. So now with Trump, like I was saying, they found the most racist man, the most hateful man, when they hated blacks, Hispanics, and Negroes. And Native Americans, when they built up their pride, they put him in office to feed their lust. Hatred toward the Lord's children.
Damn right.
Every so often that comes along.
Right. Damn right. You know what I'm saying? Because they understand that about preserving their own or taking care of their own. Right? They'll even go to the extremes with it. You know what I'm saying? You have lone shooters in America that'll go into a grocery store and kill 10 black people off of the fact of the fear of the great replacement or them being replaced in America, right? You know what I'm saying? This is what they're saying amongst themselves. They're saying, well, we're losing out on numbers. We got so much immigrants coming in. We're not able to produce as much babies as these other nations. we about to be replaced in America. You know what I'm saying? So what they do in loving their own or loving their neighbor, they'll get a gun and go into a grocery store and kill black people for it. You know what I'm saying? We got to understand that he has never loved us. There is no such thing as everybody coming together. No such thing. It don't make no sense. He's the predator and you're the prey. Right? Go ahead, Soldier.
So like I said,
No, you got it.
And one of the slang amongst those 10 black folks was a black man that invented an engine that ran off water.
Water, yeah, I heard about that. God,
You know what I'm saying? And he did an interview, and I was like, oh, I don't know how true it is, but they said like he was supposed to be making a contract with one of the car companies or something. He's supposed to be, you know, up to signing a contract or something like that. I don't know how true that is, but like,
God.
if they got a Negro that invented an engine that run off water, you know how many trillions of dollars they would lose?
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. I heard about that, man. That's, you know what I'm saying? It's even the regular people who was even, you know, didn't even know what an engine does. You know what I'm saying? Like they still got shot down for the fact that they was just black, you know what I'm saying? And not once in American history. Not once. Now, if I'm lying, y'all tell me. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all show me the records where a black man has ever picked up a firearm and mass murdered white people. Not once in American history. Not once. Well, we went out in a murder spree and killed white people for no reason. Who's that?
It was the Washington D.C.
Man,
I don't know if he was killing white people alone.
I think
he was killing black folks too.
Yeah, he was killing black folks too. You know what I'm saying? And he was a brother as well too, right? Yeah, God. Yeah.
Still not one.
Yeah.
Because he didn't just target one.
Yeah, he didn't just go into a white supermarket and just, you know, shoot at white people. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go to a white school. That's what I'm talking about. You know? But he was, that's a good example. But like you said, he killed black people as well. You know what I'm saying? But our people has never done this to the extent that they have done it unto us.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because the Lord did not require us to be joined unto them. You know what I'm saying? The Lord does not require us to follow them. He wants us to be separate. You know what I'm saying? And us being separate is how we will get justice on this earth.
Right.
Or how we'll stop black on black crime. How we'll stop gang banging. How we'll stop Mexicans hating Puerto Ricans. How we stop Puerto Ricans hating black people. How we stop Jamaicans from hating Haitians. You know what I'm saying? The way that we stop these things is separation from our oppressor and following the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. This is how you get rid of it. No matter how much you legislate, or no matter how much you promote, stop the violence marches, no matter how much racial facilities you build in the black community, no matter what you do, the violence will not stop until we separate from our oppressor, until we walk outside of that Christian church. Joining him is the reason why we have gang violence, that we have guns in our neighborhood, that we have drugs, that we have black on black violence. The root of it is loving white people and loving America, right? Any more on that, Austin, a shot?
Colonel Khan.
All right, you go ahead.
Colonel Khan. Ecclesiasticus chapter 13 and verse 16. All flesh consorted according to kind. And a man will cleave to his like.
To his like, man. The Bible is letting you know, man. This is common amongst people. Everybody on this earth does this. Chinese will be with Chinese, Africans with Africans, Arabs with Arabs, Japanese. Everybody does. This is why they have a nation, a government. They build governments. They build borders to do what? To protect the people within those borders. This is why they have a military. They make sure they take care of their own. You know what I'm saying? Well, black people is being taught something different, which is a lie according to God. We was never supposed to join them, right? Any more on that, Warrior?
Colonel Khan, sir.
All right,
Verse
you go ahead.
17. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb?
Read that one more time.
Come on, sir. Ecclesiasticus 13 and 17. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb?
Now, why is it mentioning those two animals in particular, like we just discussed shortly? Why those two?
Because
Nah, I'll let Aussie Isaac. Nah, I'll let Aussie Isaac get down. My bad. My bad. He haven't got an opportunity to speak yet. Go ahead, so.
Because it's like the prey and the predator.
Exactly right. You know what I'm saying? One is the prey and one is the predator. And common knowledge will tell you that you won't even see them together. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is trying to let you know what position that you're in this captivity and what we got to do to preserve ourselves. You know what I'm saying? The lion, hyenas, zebras, and gazelles do not hang around with each other. Neither does the sheep and the wolf, right? Read on.
Khan. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb?
Mm-hmm.
So the sinner with the godly.
So does the sinner with the godly, man. The Lord called us to be godly, to be righteous on this earth, to rule this earth. Your oppressor is a sinner from the beginning, hated his brother from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But we have joined unto them and learned a sinful lifestyle. Now we became wolves amongst each other, right? We are known as the lost sheep of Israel. That's how the Lord refers to. But since we joined our oppressor, we became the wolves to each other. You know what I'm saying? Now we hate each other and shoot each other down in the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's because we're following a lifestyle that's not of our own, following a culture that's not of our own. True black culture is found in the Bible and nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? That's where true black culture lies in, right? Let me get John 8 and 44. And any precepts that our brothers want to bring out or anything, you know what I'm saying, feel free to do so.
Khan.
Oh, you got it? All right. No, it's no, so you got it, boy. Oh, Akim got it?
Khan.
All right. You go ahead, Trooper Canal.
The book of John, chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father, the devil.
Now, who is this speaking?
Like, sir,
Mm-hmm.
it's written in red, so meaning that this is the house shot.
This is Christ speaking. And who is he speaking to?
Children of Israel.
Right. He's speaking to the Israelites. More specifically, the Jews. Right? He's saying, ye are of your father, the devil. Now, why is he calling them or saying that they're like their father, the devil? Go ahead.
Answer right there.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead and read it.
It's like, sir, because
Now you can read it. It's all good.
come.
Mm-hmm.
Book of John, chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do.
Now, who is he calling? Like, who is he saying that they are that they are the children of?
The white.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so he's saying the white man?
This,
Like
you're right.
The oppressor?
Kind of so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? The oppressor. Right? The Bible calls him the devil, right? The word devil means what? Deceiver. You know what I'm saying? They are the deceivers of this earth. Right? And we have followed him like little children. We look up to them as if they are the fathers of us. You know what I'm saying? Like they're our forefathers. We salute their flags like as if we're joined unto them and follow their customs and their culture. And Christ is calling our people out and letting them know that you have become a devil just like them. When you shoot and rob each other, guess what you're doing? Guess what culture you're practicing? You're practicing white culture. When you sell each other drugs, you think, oh, that's so black to do. You know, diss tracks and sell drugs. That's so black to do.
Right.
Gang bang, red and blue. That's just so black. That's black. That's black right there. You know what I'm saying? Even the tattoos all over your body. You know, they think that's just so black.
Shucking and jiving.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It's like, sorry, me to come
Nah,
in,
go ahead.
but like Officer Yahaza say, Ken shucking and jiving and
Right.
that's our culture.
God.
Dancing and doing all. That's all we know how to do is dance and
God.
entertain.
God, you think all of that is black culture when really you're practicing white culture. That's what you're really doing. In essence, that's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? That is their culture. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is calling out the Jews, the Pharisees, and saying how the way they behave and act amongst us or amongst each other is the same way our oppressor behaved. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Kind. He was a murderer from the beginning.
He was a what?
A murderer from the beginning.
What is that talking about? I'm gonna give it a shot.
Salaki.
Hold on. I think the sister said something. You want to give it? I got my phone. Y'all see y'all shot. That's why I let the sister give it a shot. You want to give it a shot? Oh, no sweat. Get the sister ahead. She exactly right. You know what I'm saying? I see you doing your thing. I see you doing a good job, right? Right. Since Cain and Abel, since the beginning, right? The first recorded murder in the Bible started with Cain and Abel. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same spirit that your oppressor has. Yeah, that's the first. That's crazy, ain't it? The first recorded murder. Go ahead.
That's like, so what's even more crazy is on the topic between two brothers.
Mm-hmm. God.
The first murder was between
two brothers. Damn right. And now we brothers, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Black people, Hispanic people, Native Indian people, and now we committing murders amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? Because we learned it from our oppressor. Since the beginning, he been this way. Since America has been founded, he always been this way. Before America, he been this way. All the way back to the Garden of Eden, you know what I'm saying, with Cain and Abel, he's been this way. What makes you think you can change him? You think a march would change his behavior? You think a vote would change his behavior? You can't change him. Neither are you supposed to be like him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody says Salakia? My bad. No. My bad. I thought somebody said Salakia. You know what I'm saying? We have become a murderer just like him. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
He was a murderer from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and abode not in the truth.
And do what?
And abode not in the truth.
You don't abide in the truth. The truth is not in him. This is who he is. Right? It's going to say that, my bad. Read on.
Because there is no truth in him.
Mm-hmm.
When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own.
Now, what is that talking about? When he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own. What is that talking about?
I take a stab at it.
Go ahead.
It's saying like when he's saying anything is a lie. Damn it. Like if he speak of something is when he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own.
Mm-hmm.
Is it talking about the character of him? Like it ain't no truth in him, so you can't really trust nothing he say.
Quite on it, right? Right. He do be lying, right? That's why he's called the devil. He's a deceiver.
Right.
But what does it mean when he says when he speaketh of a lie, he speaketh of his own?
Slacky, sir.
You want to give it a shot, Officer Nishak?
Con. So
Go ahead,
it's
soldier.
like you know, when the white man say that all black people are drug dealers, he's actually talking about himself.
Mm-hmm.
When he say all Mexicans are rapists, he's actually talking about himself. So everything that they put on us is actually, you know, he's how do they say it? He's deflecting, you know, his his characteristics on somebody else.
Get a brother a hand.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? God, that's it.
That's what I was Salaki, sir. That was Tawab. That's what I was thinking. But I couldn't get it out.
Nah,
You
no,
know what I'm
sir.
saying? And the way he described that, the way he said that, I understand what it's saying when it said he speaketh for life, he speaketh for his own. Just like Officer Nashak said, he gave a great analogy of how Trump say Mexicans are rapists, but it's the white man that's the main rapist out here raping people, and he's the biggest drug dealer. So he made that very clear. That's the wall right there.
That's exactly what he's talking about.
If I may, sir.
God, get that word.
Nah, because you know what I mean. Like Trump said, the Mexicans are rapists, but he's the one who's raping little white girls. Okay, he's the one who's, grabbing other white women by the box. You know what I'm saying? So, when he say these things, he's actually deflecting from himself.
Right. God, that's exactly right, man. Because he's a liar. When he speaks about himself, he's Superman. He's Spider-Man. Hell, he's Jesus Christ. When really he's the rapist. He's the murderer. No, somebody said Salaki, my bad.
If I may, sir, he's the last samurai. He's Tonto. Okay. He's everything samurai? Great, but you are everything foul.
Exactly right. They're right, warrior. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what he's talking about, man. Like, he lies so much, and everything that he says about himself and about other people is all a lie. You know what I'm saying? He's making himself out to be the greatest thing on this earth and demonizing Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And our people see that, trying to be like him. So guess what? They look at each other with the same lenses or the same eyes as their oppressor does. This is why it's nothing for another black man to pull out a pistol and shoot him down in the streets. You know why? Because the white man did it first. He's your father that taught you to do that. So why it's nothing for a black man to sell a dime bag to a pregnant lady. You know why? Because your oppressor did it first. He's your father that taught you to do that, man. You know what I'm saying? This is learned behavior. This is not inherently black culture. It's learned behavior, man. We learned this through the system of oppression in America, man. Being criminals, man. This is not who we are as a people. We are the most righteous people on this earth. Most loving and compassionate people on this earth. The greatest people that ever walked this earth, man. But we lost all our greatness and all our honor trying to be like white people, man. Trying to fit inside American culture. This is who we lost, who we are, man. You know what I'm saying? The only way we're going to get free out of this hell that we suffering, the plagues within our community, if we just simply separate. Stop going inside of that church. Stop praising to that image. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, y'all brothers want to add anything?
Allah, sir.
All right. Con, get down.
When you have Shadow speaking, like saying he's a liar and the father of it, like saying like I was thinking when I was reading this, like just how Esau lied and said that Jacob stole his inheritance when he sold it to him.
Right. God, that's exactly what it is. God, he lies so much throughout these scriptures, man. You know what I'm saying? He made the angels to be white. David's white. Solomon's white. You know what I'm saying? He also said that the Pharaoh, he said the laws is done away with. He's just lying on everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he is the people that the Lord told us not to follow, like we just read in Leviticus. He said, don't do like these nations. Don't follow their manners. Because they commit everything I don't like, right? You can continue on.
Come. He is a liar and a father of it. And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not.
Right. This is the truth, black man. The reason why we shooting each other down is because we're following white people, man. Because we joined Christianity. That's the truth. Before you blame the youth, Before you blame that black man with his pants sagging down with the braids in his hair that listen to hip hop too much, before you blame the Mexican that's just trying to cross the border just to get a better life, before you blame the native Indians who just been peaceful with you since you came here to America, before you blame us, let's go to the root of the problem and ask what caused us to be this way. What is the reason why we behaving this way? Why are we acting like this? And you'll come to find out it all comes from what your oppressor done unto you. It comes from you separating from the Most High and the Lord punishing you by having this beast over you. Now you walking around with your eye evil towards your brother, because that is a punishment and a curse from God. It's not inherently black, right? Any more of that? You can drop that. All right. Let me get Romans 9 and 4. I'll get Romans 1. My bad. Let's get Romans 1 and 25. Let me get that real quick. You got it, word.
The book of Romans, chapter 1 and 25.
Mm-hmm.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Now, who changed the truth of God into a lie? All right? Who told you that everybody's supposed to be joined together when the word of God just said every beast likes his own kind? Who told you that we have to integrate when the word of God just says do not follow their manners? Who is doing this? Somebody's lying to you. All right? Who is this? Read on.
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator.
They worship and serve the creature more than the creator. The creator told you what to do on this earth, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. You know what I'm saying? The creator told you how you should live. He gave you law, statute, commandments. He gave you this book that's only for you. But we rejected it by trying to join and follow these other nations. The creatures, people that's human just like you make them out to be a god. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody's lying to you and telling you that you have to love everybody and join everybody, when that is the complete opposite of what God requires you to do. Right? Read on.
Who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause, God gave them up unto vile affection.
Gave them up to what?
Vile affection.
For this cause, God gave them up unto vile affection. The word vile means what? What does vile mean? Right? We know what affection is, right? Right? Now let's get what vile affection.
Sir.
You got that?
From definition from Oxford. It says extremely unpleasant.
Extremely unpleasant. Any more on that?
Morally bad.
Morally bad. Wicked.
Of little worth or value.
That's about it. Right. There's affection is needed, right? But there's an affection that's unpleasant in the Most High. There's a love that the Lord do not like, that the Lord regards as vile. And us following these other nations, we learn a vile thing to do in the eyes of the Most High. Right? Read on.
Sir. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
Now, what is that talking about? What is this vile affection is talking about? Go ahead.
This is talking about lesbians.
Talking about lesbians, girl on girl, sex changes, what they call it? Non-binary, some crap like that. You know what I'm saying? They got non-binary. I don't know if I'm saying it right. My bad, y'all. You know, I'm a little. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Trooper Cadet.
So, like, sir, I just wanted to say, like, that's how you know that Christians and pastors don't read the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything, this book is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to say like a lie, but I just want to say like you can find every wicked thing that's in here in this book.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't say that God is not against homosexuality when he says it in the Old Testament and in the New.
And in the New Testament.
Ain't nothing changed.
Right. God, this is the New Testament we read now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
Because we worship the creature more than we serve the creator. We pick up guns, shoot, smoke, get tatted up, kill each other, be homosexuals, abort our babies, because we serve the creature more than the creator, man. We follow what they do in their customs more than what we want to follow God's customs, man. And this is why we behave the way we behave today. It starts at the top. It starts at the ones that force you to behave this way. They push this and promote this amongst us. You know what I'm saying? Right? You read on.
Come. And likewise also the men,
Mm-hmm.
leaving the natural use of a woman.
Doing what?
Leaving the natural use of the woman.
What is that natural use? They left that alone. They gave that up for their vile affection. What is the natural use of a woman between a man and a woman? Where do children come from? What is it? Yeah. Right. Nah, yeah, right. What came first, the chicken or the egg? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, laying down with a woman, putting seed in her till she bear a child. They gave that up to be with Ron, to be with Larry. You know what I'm saying? To be with another man. You know what I'm saying? That don't have those uses. That was not given that use to give birth to a child. You know what I'm saying? That is a vile affection according to the Most High. Now, who did you learn that from? Who taught you that? The way you dress, the way you talk, the way your mannerism, everything, it comes from your oppressor. Think about it. They force you to speak English. You know what I'm saying? They whip your back to speak English. They taught you how to talk. They also taught you how to think also. And you know how they did it? It wasn't no voodoo trick. It wasn't no magic. The whip was involved. The chains was involved. Now all of those came off. They ain't whipping your back no more. They ain't got you ain't walking around with the shackle down the street.
Right.
You know how they did it? Go ahead, soldier.
So like I said, was it Christianity?
Christianity. This is how they did it right here. Wait, let me get Caesar real quick. If I can just put them on the front news. This is how they did it right here. This right here. You see this? This is the creature that we serve more than the creator. This image right here is the reason our people fall for vile affection. This is the reason our people want to join our oppressors. You know why? Because you know what this image resembles? Who does it look like? It looked like your slave master, don't it? It looked like the one that forced you to hate another black man, that forced you to eat pork, that forced you to speak English and walk inside that Christian church. He looks just like him. So when we pray at night and try to talk to God and communicate with God, guess what we think of? This image right here. This image right here has destroyed black people. And this is the slavery and the mental slavery that we're dealing with right now. This is the chains that's wrapped around, the shackles that's wrapped around us. This is what whips our back and makes us be destroyed in America, man. Because you're following this image right here, which tells you to be like your slave master. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, soldier.
Like being in like Barakatha Yahweh house shot for the truth.
If I may just go real quick, boy. Obviously, you about to get off right now?
Count, yeah, we had like 1 minute left. Real quick.
All right, soldier.
Just for those who watching, Tuesday between 6 and 8 p.m., we had 4711 North Central Avenue, 2nd floor, room 220.
Damn right, soldier. Every Tuesday,
right,
Tampa, Florida. The water warrior for hopping on. Shalom, Yavruktah.
Yavruktah.
All right, you got it, warrior.
I'm not Salaki, sir, if I may. I just want to say, Barakatha Yahweh house shot for the ISUPK.
Damn right.
Because as a Christian, you would never think that you into idol worship. That's idol worship. Like how you were saying, when we at night and we praying and we looking up to that image, that's idol worship. That's an idol worship. And without you coming into the truth and knowing that Yahweh is black and knowing that Christianity is all wrong, you won't know that you being an adulterer. You won't know. You think you serving the Lord. You blind because your pastors are a dumb dog, greedy. They don't know nothing, and they're leading you astray, and you worshiping a white man, a homosexual, and a murderer.
God, damn right, man.
Praying to that
at night. You know what I'm saying? And when you get good success that happened in your lifetime, guess who you thinking? When you say thank you, Jesus, you ain't thinking about a black person. You know what I'm saying? You ain't thinking about a nigga with nappy head and a deep voice and the austere man. You ain't thinking about that. You're thinking about that white sissy. You know what I'm saying? That they promote in the Christian church, man. You know what I'm saying? Because these are the people that we look to as gods, that we look to for a lifestyle and for a culture and for a heritage. You know what I'm saying? When the Lord commanded us not to do so. You know what I'm saying? He told us that if we didn't do that, guess what? You're going to have black on black crime. Your eyes going to be evil towards your brother if you don't keep my commandments.
Right.
You're going to shoot each other down, sell drugs, and go to your oppressor for clothes, shoes, and shelter.
Right.
If we didn't keep his commandments.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is what the Lord taught all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And this is the only thing that can fix us.
Right.
Right? Like you mentioned, the pastor, man, he is the so-called leader within the black community. These politicians are the so-called leaders within the black community. You go in the black neighborhood, you'll find nothing but churches in there.
Right.
In every street corner, they got a church, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they all believe in, don't they believe in the same thing? And they all got a building down the street. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. And look how we living in our communities, man. We shoot each other down because of that Christian church. Because what is being taught to us. You know, the mind is a powerful thing. Right? What was Biggie Small says, the brain is a terrible thing to waste. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's powerful.
Right.
What you think can come to reality, man.
Right.
So you got to be careful what you put in your mind. And our oppressors have put Christianity and hating each other in our minds. And we lived out that through our actions by selling each other drugs and shooting each other down. You know what I'm saying? Any more on that? Where was that? My bad. You go ahead.
And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly.
Which is what?
Unseemly.
Unseemly. The Lord don't want to see all that, man. He ain't pleased with what he sees. A man laying down with another man. Black people turning away from the commandments of the Most High, selling drugs to each other, shooting each other down, following the creature more than the Lord ain't pleased with that. Neither he ain't pleased with a woman laying down with a woman either. You know what I'm saying? Threesomes, fours, whatever you're doing, he ain't pleased with none of that, man. You know what I'm saying? And we learned that from our oppressors.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to do in order to get out of this hellhole, right? So let's drop that. Let's get 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3.
If I
Right.
may, sir.
Go ahead, soldier.
Now, what you're saying is heavy because, like you were saying, there's a Christian church on every block.
Mm-hmm.
All that proves is that like Christians hate each other. Because if they didn't, they would find one big building and they will all be in the same building.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why are all the Christians divided? You know what I mean? Why can't they be together? Because they hate each other, sir. They don't want, you know what I mean? Like their eyes are tender towards their brother. So he's got to go get his own little 10 by 10 box that preach the word of the Lord and give his version. You know what I mean?
God, damn right, man. They all just hate each other. You go inside that church, they all gossiping about each other.
Come.
That's what they doing in there. They go into there. This person ain't shit. This person, I don't like this person. I don't like that. They always think they something. They always did. I hate on why their hat so big. Why his shoes like that. Why his suit look like that. They all in there just hating on each other.
Right.
That's what you gain from the Christian church. And once you walk outside of those doors, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna reciprocate the same manner in the church out in the streets.
Right.
You're gonna, behave the same way.
Right.
So when you talk to another black person, you be like, I don't like this nigga. I don't like this nigga. What is it? I don't like that. After that. Now you separated and divided, man, because you learned that behavior from the Christian church. They don't teach no morality in there. They don't teach you how to be moral. They teach you how to be like your oppressor, who has no morals at all. Right? You got that for me, Warrior?
The book of 2 Thessalonians.
Let me see if anybody else want to read. Did you want to read off? See what's up?
I was lucky he got it.
All right, no sweat word.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Like I am like if I'm talking.
Nah, you good, man. You know what I'm saying? You get straight to it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just making sure everybody get opportunity. Nah, you good. Go ahead.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let no man deceive you.
Let no man deceive you. Right? Let nobody take the truth of God and form it into a lie, like Christianity. Read on.
By any means.
By any means at all. Read on.
For that day shall not come,
Mm-hmm.
except there come a falling away first.
Right. That day is talking about the return of Christ. Right? It should not come until there'll be a falling away first. Right? What is that falling away talking about? What's the falling away is talking about? All right. That day of Christ's returning will not come until there be a falling away first. Go ahead.
Is it talking about the falling away allowed to the Christian church?
What it kind of goes with it, right? Kind of goes with it.
Or falling of the white man?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Of your oppressor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And to the fall of what you're seeing right now. Right? This is the signs, the tall tale signs that Christ is returning. Right? The wars that you see, the famines, the no food in the groceries, no baby formula. You know what I'm saying? All these are giving you an indignation that Christ is making his return. You know what I'm saying? People have to leave this earth first. People have to die. Judgments have to come to pass. Prophecies have to come to pass. That's written up in this Bible. You know what I'm saying? And when those happen, then you're going to see our King return. But there's one prophecy in particular that must come to pass before he returns. Right? Read on.
Come. And that man of sin.
The who?
That man of sin be revealed.
Be what?
Revealed.
Who is this man of sin that is talking about? You said what?
Oh, so like you said.
You got
talking about the white man.
Yeah, your oppressor. He is the man of sin. Now, why does it say that? God.
Like I said, because he transgresses the laws of the Most High.
Exactly.
Oh, so.
Nah, you right. Nah, you got it. Keep on going. I didn't mean to cut you off. Got it.
I was going to say, and he deceived the whole world.
Mm-hmm. God. He is the man of sin. Because he made himself out to be a God, man. Read on.
Come. The son of perdition.
The son of perdition. Read on. Meaning destruction, right? Read on.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
That is all that is called God. Like this Bible that we read of. Somebody took it and manipulated the teachings of this Bible and made it out to be some universal book. That's for all people and for all mankind. When the Bible does not speak about that. You know what I'm saying? The Bible talks about the 12 tribes of Israel being his chosen people. That Christ only coming for the 12 tribes of Israel. That he himself is a black man. The disciples were black. You know what I'm saying? And Hispanic and Native Indian. You know what I'm saying? This is who we are. You know what I'm saying? But it must be revealed in the last days before Christ's return who the man of sin is. Now, if you don't know by now, and throughout this class, what we've been speaking about, you know what I'm saying? You are somebody that's just want to love this man of sin.
Right.
Who's caught up in your sin yourself. Because it is facts and proven who this man really is and what he has done unto your people. It's written in history. There's no way around it. You know what I'm saying? And our people have picked up that same behavior and exercise it amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? We are not the people of sin. We're not meant to be the people of sin. Have we sinned? Yes, we have. This is why we're in the condition that we're in right now. But the Lord did not call us for that. You know what I'm saying? He called us to be his chosen, to rule this planet Earth. Well, since we broke his commandments and thought it was cool to join these other nations, this is why we get the results that we got today. This is why the numbers of black on black crime is at a high percentage. It's why brothers are shooting each other. Brothers are sleeping with other brothers' wives. Rappers is getting hit with the RICO because you're selling drugs. This is why we hate each other. This is the result of joining your oppressor, of integration. Because before then, we had what? Black Wall Street, right? I'm sure everybody's familiar with Black Wall Street. Heard of Black Wall Street? You know what I'm saying? The Harlem Renaissance. At one point, Harlem was thriving, right? Harlem was, called the Black Mecca. That's what they called it during the 1920s. Because all the influences that was coming out of Harlem, the art, the wealth that was coming out of Harlem. Black people were successful in America. And it wasn't through marching and voting. They found their success by being separate. They built Black Wall Street by being separate. Harlem was great because we were separate and only dealt with each other. But since we integrated, look at Harlem now. Look at Harlem now. You think niggas was selling drugs while the KKK was on their behind? You think niggas was gangbanging and calling himself a Crip in the blood while the white man was trying to shoot you down in the street or trying to lynch you? We knew who the enemy was. We knew the importance of sticking together. Because it was obvious at that time. This person hate me, he's trying to kill me. Let me stick with my own. The same people who he's also trying to kill. Let's join with them and stick with each other and help each other out. We understood that back then. So what has changed today? Why you don't see Black Wall Street today? Why you don't see nothing like that? Why you don't see black banks, black airports? Why you don't see none of that? Go ahead. No brotherhood.
No love for one another.
And we lost all of that because of what?
Because of our oppressors.
Because your oppressor. And how did he do that? What way did he do that in?
With slavery and Christianity.
They're right. What way that he made us believe in it? You ain't using the right word. Now go ahead. You on it. You on it.
Being a devil and shit.
I was gonna say integration. Like joining him. Like integrating with him, man. You don't see Black Wall Street no more. You don't see Harlem thriving. Harlem is gentrified now. They call it Soha. Certain parts of Harlem. You know, you got Soho in Manhattan. Well, the rich, yeah, they got Soho. There's a town in New York. You know, with skyscrapers and rich, wealthy, to do white people in Manhattan.
Right.
The fact that they had to spread and go into Harlem and gentrify the Black community, they call that like Soha, like a miniature version of Soho. You get what I'm saying? You know, Harlem is Harlem, H-A. You know what I'm saying? So they call it Soha because they gentrified it. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn, they gentrified Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Paramore, right here in Florida, in Orlando. You know about Paramore. You know what I'm saying? They built a soccer stadium right smack down in the middle of Paramore. Right there. And Paramore was one of the first Black communities in Orlando. In Orlando. The first Black community.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And they gentrified it and built a soccer stadium right there. Go ahead.
I just want to say, like, that's crazy. Like, they push us in the ghetto, put us in the worst parts of the city, and then when they have agendas, they come and put us out of the ghetto. Like, nigga can't even have the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Now they want to come in there and kick you out, like how you said, Salaki. They built a soccer stadium right in the ghetto in Paramount, and like around the corner you got niggas selling drugs. They gotta have every police that's in Orlando down there when they having games because way they built it at is right in the hood. You got homeless on one side and you got the drugs on the next side.
That's crazy. For their own entertainment, man. You know what I'm saying? White man is the devil. Somebody said Salaki.
Oh, kind of. I was just gonna add on to what he was saying about the ghettos and how they concentrated people to certain areas. Originally, you know what I'm saying, people of color couldn't get into the projects. The projects was placed next to railroads and factories for people that had the better jobs. You know what I'm saying? But then they turned it into an area to concentrate people of color. And then they started sacrifice zones and redlining where they literally circled out the area where we were and divested and stopped investing resources and things like that so that you didn't have good schools, you know what I'm saying, good jobs and things like that in the Great White Flight. That's what they call it, where they gave white-only loans for them to move to the now suburbs. And that's how the projects came to be.
Man, there you have it. Because when too many niggas get together, it's a threat unto your oppressor. You know what I'm saying? The Reconstruction era. Black people, because we coming off of the slave, the plantation. So we good with our hands. We know how to build stuff. We know how to work the machinery because we the one that built all of that. We thinkers, great thinkers, because we got to work the field. You dig what I'm saying? So we started thriving more than them. And he'll find new ways to make sure that you don't excel above them. He'll put a soccer stadium in your neighborhood. He'll redline you. He'll put drugs. You know what I'm saying? Promote homosexuality. Promote abortions. Promote shooting each other. Just so we don't excel above him, man. It's not coincidental, Black people. It's not, just who we are. This is because we followed a culture that's not of our own. Right? Let's get Ezekiel 35:5. Nah, this is a while. And you got it, or you got it, yes.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. Because, do you want me to start it? Oh, just 5.
Yeah, you can restart at 5.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Right. This is the Lord commanding Ezekiel to prophesy the Edomites, right? Who is the Edomites today? So-called white man. That's who he descend from. And the Lord is saying that he had a perpetual hatred against our brother, right? Esau grew into the nation of Edom, and Esau is the brother of Jacob, who birthed the 12 sons who became the Israelites. And he had a perpetual hatred against his 12 sons and the Israelites. He hated them so much that he made sure to put drugs in your neighborhood, to drop crates of guns in your neighborhood. All these are acts of hatred, man. And it's not done by us. It's done by your oppressor. His hatred has never ceased on this earth, has never stopped. And he has always hated you since you came here in America. Read on.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
And has done what?
Shed the blood of the children of Israel.
This is what he has done. Shed the blood of our people. That's him by nature. Since slavery.
Right.
Since before then. Right. You know what I'm saying? But now we want to be like him. Now, guess who's doing the bloodshedding?
Right.
He's still doing the bloodshedding now. Don't get it twisted. And those numbers are inflated as well. Those percentages of black on black crime are highly inflated. But yet he pushed us to shed our own blood as well, too. To kill each other down in the streets. And the difference between us and them is we are commanded not to do so. The Lord has strict rules against a black man selling another black man drugs.
Right.
He has strict rules against that. You got strict rules against gang banging and shooting each other down in the streets. You can't just hate your brother for no reason. That's the difference between us and them. All right. That's the difference between us and them, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord did not require us to live out how we living in America, man. It's because you living here is why you doing what you're doing now. You're conditioned to be this way. Now you have to understand how to love what the Lord loves and hate what the Lord hates. Right? Read on.
By the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Right, here in slavery. This is where we've been suffering for 400 years at. 400 plus, my bad. You know what I'm saying? And he has never told you who you was. 2022, a black man still don't know who he is. Don't even know where he come from, what's his national, what language he spoke, what food he ate, nothing like that. In the time of our calamity, he continued to oppress. Go ahead.
Sir. So when they say in the time that their iniquity had an end, is it saying, like, could you break that part down for me?
God, our iniquity is what we suffering right now, the slavery that we suffering. Right? The Lord said that he was going to bring us into captivity for a time period.
Right.
To be a slave.
Right.
To have them rule over us.
Right.
Never where it was warranted for our oppressor to continue to hold us and strip us of our heritage. No other captivity that we ever suffered under where we didn't know our tongue, didn't know who we were, or didn't have our land. You know what I'm saying? Every captivity we served under, there was a portion of us that still understood where they came from, that still was living within our land. You know what I'm saying? And once our captivity ended, we went back and rebuilt our land. With the Persian king and, you know what I'm saying, with the Greeks, you had some of us that went back and fought them with the Maccabees and they gave us independence and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? We were able to go back.
Right.
But here in America, we still don't know who we are, right? Our captivity was been supposed to be at end. It was been supposed to be up. We should have been knew who he was.
Right.
But the hatred of our oppressor will not allow us to know who we are. He will never give us up. Because in giving us up, he would lose out on his wealth and his success on his earth. Because we made him successful as a people. You know what I'm saying? This was just for a period of time.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it was. Just for a
So that's what I was saying. Like, so what you were saying that, like, so it was a point in time where we were supposed to be up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a point in time when we were supposed to be, like, our oppression was supposed to cease and we were supposed to return back to the Lord, like how we always did. You know what I'm saying? After being in captivity for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So by him holding, like you said, holding on to us and keeping us oppressed and keep murdering us and killing us and not letting us go to serve our Lord. That's why the Most High will make him desolate. That's why he will kill him and he won't be.
He's gonna be found red-handed. You know what I'm saying? Like a murderer. Go ahead. Somebody said Salaki?
Kind of. I was just gonna say that's that crafty counsel. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where they
Like
make Israel no more a nation. Kind of.
Damn right, man. You know what I'm saying? This is not what the Lord it's just a punishment, like you do to your child. You whoop them so they can learn their lesson on what not to do. You know what I'm saying? You don't just do it just because, you had a bad day or you trying to vent your frustration onto your child. You know what I'm saying? You doing it for a purpose. Well, our purpose was so we can know how to serve the Most High. Now that we're learning, this is when the Lord will give us salvation. But the fact that our oppressor won't allow us to learn and refuse for us to learn who we really are by making sure we sell each other drugs, make sure that we shoot each other down, make sure he shoot us down, the Lord is going to bring justice upon him because his hatred has not ceased. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And just like Officer Yahweh was saying, like that is crafty counsel because if we did have an end to our iniquity, he made sure we stayed at odds with the Most High by Christianity, telling us that you can eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, being adulterers, like not serving. So he came up with crafty counsel. Okay, so if they ever do get out of this slavery, I'm gonna make them at odds with the Most High because you know what I'm saying, we doing all the things that's against the Most High. Now,
God, they make it show. You know what I'm saying? They spend they spend billions of dollars to make it show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is why you turn on the radio and it talks about your ops. That's all it talks about. You know what I'm saying? This is why. Your oppressor is promoting that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is because this is what he does when he has problems. He dropped bombs on his ops. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're the same race, they could be the same race. He don't give a damn.
Right.
He'll drop a bomb on his op. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a murderer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When the Lord commanded us to be separate from that, separate from him. You know what I'm saying? Our ops, the Lord commanded us to forgive each other and love each other. You know what I'm saying? So we can be a nation again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with defending yourself. You got a problem with somebody trying to harm you, defend yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what is the root of the problem is what we got to figure out. Right? Why are we even vice lords versus? Why is that even existing? You know what I'm saying? Why is all of this existing, man? Yeah, boy, chill. All of that existed because we became a wicked people like the oppressor, man. You know what I'm saying? We took on that hatred that he showed onto us, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, even when we go out and speak and say the Most High is a racist, people are flabbergasted by that.
Yeah.
They like racist, right? Because their definition of racism is what?
Right, what they see the white man doing that.
Right, that's their definition of racism. When simply it just means love for your race or for your race. That's all it means. That's all it means. Like a pianoist, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that works with pianos or deals with pianos. If you're a racist, you're for your race. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why they're so pushed back behind it, because it's what they seen the oppressor do. It's what they seen the oppressor do unto us in America. You know what I'm saying? because this is who he is. This is his natural behavior. But the Lord requires us to be a better people than that, right? Any more on that? Whoever was reading, my bad.
This verse 6 is going to be great.
Did you read the end of 5? My bad.
Kind of way say when there iniquity had an end.
Kind of verse 6, my bad.
Ezekiel chapter 35 and 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood.
He would do what?
Prepare thee unto blood.
This is how God is going to judge every criminal on this earth. He's going to put them to death, starting with your oppressor. Now, if you don't come out of her and don't try to join yourself with them and live out their lifestyle, guess what? You can find salvation. There is an opportunity of salvation for you. But for your oppressor, he ain't got a chance. He made his bed. Now it's time for him to lay in it. And Christ is going to make sure they do that when he returns. All we got to do is serve the Most High, right? And with that, man, anything y'all brothers want to add before we get up out of here?
If I may, sir.
Get down, Warrior.
Nah, so what you right on it, you know what I mean? Like the thing is, like the white man hating blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, he's hating the Most High. By him hating you, he hates the Most High God because you are God's chosen people. He has love for you, okay? So by him not loving you, he's not loving the Most High. You know what I mean? Like by him devouring you, he's devouring the Most High's inheritance, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole thing. So you right on it, you know what I mean? Like this oppressor, like you said, you know what I mean? He's got his day coming, but we need to let our people know that, you know, like you said, we got to separate and come back to, you know what I mean? Like we got to start loving each other.
Damn right.
Because like if we don't love each other, we hate what, you know what I mean? We hate what God loves, okay? We hate what the Most High Power loves, okay? So
damn right.
The water, sir, for bringing that out.
Man, Most High in Christ, priest. The water, you, man. The water, y'all brothers are coming on. You know what I'm saying? It's always a pleasure to have y'all brothers on, man. I bounce off of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be bringing out these heavy points. Officer the Shot, Officer Isupk, Trooper Kanat. You know what I'm saying? We'll get together again, Lord allow, next week on Tuesday, 6:30 to 8:30, Brotherhood class. Captain Shawar, I think you be doing Wednesdays, right? Officer the Shot?
Whenever Cap, you know, let me do it, but you know, Captain Shawar, he
right.
want all the work, you know what I mean?
He want all the smoke.
Yeah, he do. So and I definitely, you know, that brother is man, heaven sent in my life.
Right.
That's Captain Shawar Yala, you know what I mean? So I you know, I strive to be like that brother, you know what I mean? So
likewise.
Yeah, so I get I try to gobble up everything he got, you know what I mean? And try to retain it, you know, that's the hard part, retaining it, you know what I mean? And being able to you know, emulate him, you know what I'm saying? So
damn right.
That's that, sir.
Damn right, soldier. Damn right, man. Big up, man. Big up, Cap Shawar, all the brothers out here in Florida, man. So we will be live tomorrow as well, same channel. So make sure you tune in, y'all. With that, shalom, Israel.
Shalom, sir. Y'all about to Shalom,
Shalom, yo.
Yeah, sure.